So we got our first look at Avengers Doomsday with concept art that was leaked this morning. And honestly, I don't usually do videos on leaked content, but I feel like we should talk about this. And it seems like Avengers Doomsday is taking a lot of inspiration from the 2015 comic book run of Secret Wars. And it looks like it's going to be taking place on Battleworld because they are in like this medieval look for half the pictures where God Emperor Doom is sitting upon a throne. Which we did get our first look at God Emperor Doom sitting on a throne, which the image looks really cool, and it definitely is setting up for this character to show up from the Secret War comic book. But one of the main images we see Doom sitting in the throne, possibly in Latveria, with Doctor Strange at his side, which could be just like how in the Secret Wars comic book, Doctor Strange was the Baron to Doctor Doom. This could be what's happening right now. And then we also have Sue Storm and Franklin Richards standing next to him, which is setting up him having Sue by his side, just like the comics, and having Franklin there as well, because Franklin in the comics is super OP with his reality manipulation powers. So they're definitely setting up him coming up in the MCU as well. This will be a tease for him being in the Fantastic Four movie, because there have been rumored so far that Sue and Reed will have kids during that movie. So hey, we could be definitely getting that, and him coming in a little aged up for Doomsday.
It's also Doom just taking Reed Richards' family and making it his own.
Then on top of it, in that same image, we see Elena being one of the knights, bringing in Reed Richards chained up to face Doom. So we have her there as well, with possibly Kit Harington's Black Knight being the second knight that's standing beside her. Which this is kind of cool, because we haven't seen a lot of Kit Harington's Black Knight, even though they set him up to be in the Blade movie that has yet to come out because he keeps getting delayed and delayed and delayed. Right now it's looking like he might be in Avengers Doomsday, possibly because this is concept art. Then in another medieval scene, we have the Hulk, She-Hulk, and Scar in a Gamma Town, which is definitely setting up Greenland in Battleworld, which is a land that has a bunch of Hulks in it and Hulk variants. So in this image, with it being a medieval town, with the Hulks being within it, it is setting up them being pulled into this universe. Scar is definitely getting an upgrade in this from his last appearance in She-Hulk, so that is fantastic to see, because that design was absolutely atrocious. So seeing this concept art, showing him looking a lot cooler, is great to see. But the thing is, with this concept art as well, with seeing them within this medieval part, it's showing that She-Hulk and Hulk will be together, roaming the cities, hopefully coming together to make a team of Hulks to go against God Emperor Doom. Now again, this is all concept art, nothing is 100%, everything is going to change by the time the movie comes out, because in the past we have seen concept art come out from No Way Home and Avengers, with different moments that we haven't actually seen come to play in the movies. Like in No Way Home, there was concept art about going through Tobey's universe that never came out, and concept art of Ned on a goblin glider. So again, that never happened, so you know, these things might not actually happen in the movie, but the way they're kind of setting it up so far, seeming like we are starting on Battleworld, we have God Emperor Doom, and everyone's kind of scattered all over the place. Now, with all these leaked images as well, we have stuff for the Young Avengers, with them coming together with Wong and Star-Lord, which they all look like they're wearing regular clothes and their super suits, which means they're not in this medieval world, which means they could be in a different section of Battleworld compared to the others. So with this, it seems like Star-Lord and Wong might be those mentors that are looking over the Young Avengers, other than Hawkeye, which is what I first theorized in my Avengers video, which you can come check out at the end of this video, I'll have it linked. But it's definitely cool to see how they're playing this, because Star-Lord's on Earth now after the events of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. It's seeming like he's going to be playing a bigger role with some of these other characters, being more of a mentor after what happened to him over the years. So I'm very curious to see how he's going to tie into all of it, and how he's going to kind of go into this, because there's also a concept art of him and White Vision just chilling on a couch. So whatever happens during Vision Quest, we're going to be having Vision meeting up with Star-Lord possibly, and then becoming friends. So hey, that means we could be seeing Star-Lord in Vision Quest. But again, this is concept art. We don't have anything confirmed from Vision Quest, so there's nothing to really tie these 100% together. But it is cool to kind of speculate what might actually be happening. But with this bar scene with the Young Avengers, Wong, and Star-Lord, we get to see Wiccan and Speed together, which means Wiccan, after probably Vision Quest, he is able to find Tommy and connect back together with his brother. And then we'll probably get a post-credit scene of Miss Marvel recruiting them, just like how she did Kate Bishop, and mentioning Cassie Lang, who's also in this bar tavern image. So right now, the main Young Avengers might be Cassie Lang, Kate Bishop, Miss Marvel, Speed, and Wiccan. And one of the other people that might show up as well is America Chavez, because if Wong is with these characters, he'll probably bring in America Chavez to be the other young hero to work with them, especially because she was with them at the end of Multiverse of Madness and training her. So that could be what's happening here, and I think it's really cool to just kind of see what's going on. Like, we got the Young Avengers coming in for this movie, which honestly is great to see. Hopefully that'll lead into like a Young Avengers project, and then we'll get to see them either in a movie or their own series. So pretty cool to see what they're doing there. And there's also one other character in this image, and it's Dupe, a character from the X-Men comics who's been part of X-Force and X-Status, which is kind of an odd character. Apparently, there's not a lot known about him. Even on the wiki, it said there's not a lot known about him. He's been around since 2001, and he's definitely a weird, obscure character that seems like a fun sidekick to put with the Young Avengers. But because he is an X-Men character, I'm kind of curious to why he's even there to begin with. But again, this is concept art, so they might have just put him in there for fun just to see how it looked. We also got an image of a new Black Panther, most likely a multiverse variant. However, what if this is actually Prince T'Challa aged up in another universe? Which, okay, that's still a variant, but it would kind of tie into what happened at Wakanda Forever, where we saw the young prince make his appearance. Honestly, I'm hoping we still see Shuri as Black Panther for the MCU because we just made her Black Panther. I don't really think they should bring in T'Challa once again. But it would be really cool to see kind of what they're doing with this, with introducing another variant of Black Panther, and maybe Shuri gets to meet him, and maybe we get this nice moment between the two. If it is the older T'Challa, then that would be her just kind of seeing him once again, having an emotional moment. But if it is a multiversal variant of Prince T'Challa, with him being aged up for this, it would be a nice moment to see aunt and nephew kind of meet in a different universe, and I think that would be pretty cool. But we'll see when the movie comes out and what we end up seeing in it. So far, the idea of Avengers Doomsday is definitely picking up in the thick of it on Battleworld. Now, the biggest question is, which movie is going to set this up? Because in the comics, we saw all of it lead into Secret Wars with the incursions, with Doctor Doom taking the Beyonder's power, and then creating Battleworld with the fragments of the different universes around the multiverse. But right now, we don't really have that. So there has to be a movie coming up before Doomsday in the next year that has to set that up. Which kind of makes me suspicious that this might actually be set up by Fantastic Four, because there's only like a few movies before we actually get there. But also, it makes me worried because how are we going to get Doomsday in a year? Like, we haven't really heard anything about filming. They haven't started filming it, I don't think. And on top of it, that's a lot of CGI for this movie to really kind of come out in a year, and it would look atrocious. You know, they didn't have enough time to build it. So I definitely think that Doomsday will get pushed back by another year, which is disappointing, but maybe they'll swap it with another movie, so that movie will take place beforehand, setting up more of what's coming Doomsday. Because there's also been rumors that anything that after Doomsday is going to be taking place on Battleworld, which means that Spider-Man 4 and other movies like that will take place on this world with different events connecting them to the major Avengers film, which also might cause a problem for average movie watchers, where say you watch Spider-Man, you watch Homecoming, Far From Home, and No Way Home, and all of a sudden they're in another universe and it doesn't make any sense. Like, it's going to be a little tough to follow that, but it is kind of cool as a person who likes the comics and watches through this stuff that we are going to be getting these interconnected movies taking place between Doomsday and Secret Wars with them on this Battleworld, so we can kind of get as much of it as possible rather than kind of being there and then we're done with it. Because in the comics, it was cool to read those alternate storylines, see the different worlds, see the different characters appear. But I'm very curious to see how they're going to do it with an MCU. But yeah, everything's going to be picking up in the thick of it, which I think is really cool, and I'm very interested to see how it plays out. Now, again, I got to stress this enough. It is concept art. It could definitely change by the time we get to the movie, but I don't feel like it's going to change drastically, where the setting will be the same, just the characters' placements might be different. Because if they are going with this more medieval look when it comes to like Doom and probably in Latveria, we are going to get other areas that might be more medieval, maybe another future zone, maybe somewhere that's more modern. So it will be cool to kind of see the different areas on Battleworld as we go into this movie. But so far, everything seems pretty cool. I'm excited to see what they do, and honestly, I think they just put this out to get us all hyped for what's to come in Doomsday. Like, a lot of people have been kind of questioning the MCU recently, like they've been worried about it, but putting something like this here is definitely setting up them being like, hey, get hyped for this movie, get excited, it's going to be a lot of fun, it's going to be cool, and you know, I am hyped, I am looking forward to it, and I am really interested to seeing what they do. Honestly, if I feel like Doomsday and Secret Wars both have to be like a 3.5 hour movie like Avengers Endgame was, for it to like properly flush out the story, have all these characters, and give us the moments we want to see. But honestly, we'll see. There's still so much to come from this movie, and so much to come from the MCU that we aren't even there yet. So just to have this little image to kind of tease us what's to come is exciting. And honestly, the MCU, I'm looking forward to it. No matter what, I'm always looking forward to the MCU. So let me know what you think about this concept art. How do you feel about what they've kind of teased in this? And, you know, what are you kind of hoping they maybe should change, or what's to come in the future? Because, you know, again, we're still far enough away that there's still so much that could be changed, and I'm very curious to see what your guys' thoughts are on this. I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to hit the like and the subscribe button. It helps out the channel a lot, and you get to stay up to date with my Marvel and DC breakdowns, and I even do some anime if you're into that. Thanks for watching, and I'll be covering Daredevil next week, so stay tuned for that.